Welcome to another episode of the Headlight Restoration Pro, where I'll be showing you how to change headlights like this into super clear headlights, something more like this. Beautiful, crystal clear, like liquid. Through my headlight restoration process, you'll be able to yield results like this. I have done over 1,000 headlights through trial and error, and now all I do is make hits like this. It's not just a hobby, I am a professional. Now let's get down to business. Got your gold disc here, your P500. Getting started on this rather large light of a 2010 Subaru Outback. Getting the groove down. We'll work one area and flare your drill strokes outwards. You'll not only see the proper amount being removed, you can feel it. You can see there how it gets real milky. You can also feel the sanding. First, it's kind of rough and kind of hard. You got to really hold the drill still. Once enough is removed, you start feeling the drill spin freely, or much more easier, much more smoother, like there's no resistance. So you want to pay attention to the amount of resistance that you are feeling in the drill head. And the sanding disc. Always smooth strokes. Smooth, even strokes, holding the drill and the surface of the pad flat against the light. This particular vehicle, the way it sits, and reference to how I'm sitting on my stool, I need to put on my mask. There was that 3M mask with the pink cartridges. That is to protect against vapor and sanding particles. If you're doing one headlight, it's not too big of a deal, but when you do as many as I do, you kind of want to invest in your health, because breathing all this stuff in, especially the clear coats and the sanding part of the light, can really be hazardous in the long run, and you will feel it. And just a news flash, once again, ladies and gentlemen, this light has never been done. You see how easy everything comes off, how uniform everything looks, how nice the drill is working and sliding across the surface. This is how easy it should be if the light has never been done before, or if it has been done before. It should be no difference, long as the right materials have been used, namely the right clear coats. Never want to put on these 2K clears or anything that is not designed for headlights. Even if it says UV in it, if it does not say, it has to have them both. It has to say UV protectant and has to say for headlight restoration and or for sealing headlights, headlight sealant. This week I have came across a couple of 2K clear lights. They are terrible to work with. There's a lot of damage underneath the surface of the clear coat because it bonds too hard. It's a lot of stuff you got to fix, and it does not want to come off. It is a terrible headlight fix, and it also damages the headlight because generally the UV is not as strong as the UV protectant used for headlights. Put on a brand new disc here, another P500, because this is a large light. Not all lights are created equal. Not all lights have nice, easy, smooth coming off surfaces like this. But this one issue is it's just a large light, so I had to put a new disc on. But back to those 2K and 1K clears that are designed for, body paint or furniture varnish and stuff like that on headlights. You just don't want to do it. It's a nightmare. You're damaging your light, or somebody's damaging your light just to get a cheap thrill. Oh, it's clear right now, but in the future you're gonna have a headache with it. Your light's gonna be destroyed, or somebody's gonna charge you a lot more money because they can't get it off correctly. I've ran into that twice this week. We'll have videos on that soon in the future, maybe next week. If you can tell here, being real gentle around this area. This is an elevated area here. You don't want to burn or go through those little weird areas like that are elevated, that have extra angles, or a piece of light that like lifts from the light, shall I say. You want to be easy in those areas. They're hard to sand, and you just want to slow down the RPMs on the drill. You want to just kind of finesse those areas and pay special attention to them, because they can mess up your headlight restoration, and you want it to come out as perfect as possible. Alright, now to move on to the next step, I'm going to go ahead with the white disc, the P800. I'm going to go ahead and start here, fasten it to the end. Always make sure that the pad is fastened flush against the pad holder here at the end of the drill. If not, a lot of weird things can happen. Sometimes you purposely overhang it for certain areas to get in between the light and the vehicle. I'll show you that in another future vehicle or a future video. But yeah, you generally don't want to do it, because when you come to certain spots here and it's overhanging, it has kind of a knife cutting edge, and that is the sandpaper resistant finish tape's weakness. It kind of focuses a lot of sanding in one area, and you get these hairline cuts to the tape, which can be hairline cuts to the vehicle. You don't want that. So always fasten flush. Once again, this is the fix-it pad here. This is the cleanup crew to smooth and finesse out all of the leftover residual damage. By the first disc, the gold disc, the P500. That one is demolish all of the imperfections, all the divots, all the scratches, main scratches, but it still leaves behind little imperfections, which this one helps bridge the gap and clear up for the next step. Take a look at all that swirling here. That is how you know you're doing a nice tight job. But now we're going to go ahead and delete those. A lot of those are left behind just from the dust trail, but some of those are actually, as you see right there, actually in slightly embedded into the headlight. Those are hard to mask and hard to fill. Once you lay down the clear coat, it's going to lay into any little perfection that you have on top of the surface of the headlight. Those are hard to fill and not be seen, but these vertical and horizontal ones that I put in after deleting those, hopefully you're deleting them all, but any that are left over will be filled and removed, and it just boosts your clarity of your headlight restoration like tenfold. Just one of those little tricks I picked up along the way. You see how I incorporate hand sanding, I incorporate machine sanding and polishing. I try to throw every good aspect of headlight restoration at it, and try not to do none of the bad habits or none of the bad aspects of headlight restoration. All kits and all different methods, wet sanding and this and that, they're all valuable in a certain aspect. So you want to pull out the value of whatever method, kind of like MMA. They have karate, they have wrestling, they have Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Yes, I am a fan. They have all these things, but in MMA, mixed martial arts, they pretty much combine everything that's good out of all these mixed martial arts and make it into one style, or make it into one ability, or they pull all the good out and use all the good and pretty much delete the negative, so they can be the greatest that they can be. That's how you want to look at headlight restoration. You don't want to just stay focused on one thing. Oh, I wet sand, or oh, I dry sand, or oh, I just do this, I just do that. You want to put in the research and see what works the best, and then go with everything that works the best from every aspect. And pretty much that's what my methods and ideology are for headlight restoration, and that's why my headlight restorations are so amazing. And I have to say it myself, I've viewed others, and there's some people out there that are really good, but I mean, I'm amazing. And not to toot my own horn, but I mean, my work speaks for itself, and my methods speak for itself. Alright, this next step here, which I, spoke over a little bit much, is just done with water and a P3000. Once again, a P3000 Trizac pad, which is a sponge-like pad that has the sandpaper at the end of it, but it helps disperse the pressure, and it's just a nice pad to work with. I call it one of the magic pads. And 3M makes that pad, ladies and gentlemen, and it also comes in their headlight restoration kit. Like I said, most as possible as you can, use materials that say or are designed specifically for headlight restoration. Just a little liquid window cleaner or glass cleaner. Liquid is better. Don't use the foam. It doesn't lift or drag down the particles or saturates. And in my opinion, doesn't degrease as well. The liquid does, and doesn't dehydrate as well too, is what you really want. You want it to really dry and evaporate off of that, because it's kind of alcohol based. You want it to really dehydrate that light. As you see, it starts fogging over before this next step. That's what you want. This next step here, using a orange finesse pad and using some hard lens polish and plastic polish, and also a high powered 12 volt 3-inch polisher. Now, I use this pad quite a bit. I used it for a vehicle before this, so it's already saturated, it's already damp. I just wanted to show you guys right there that if you haven't used it in a couple days, or it's been sitting a long time and it's bone dry, you want to hydrate it with some liquid, preferably just some water. You don't want it soaking wet, you just want it the surface of it to feel a little damp. A squirt or two of some water, dab it on, your jeans or your pants or whatever you got on, or, a microfiber towel to get the excess moisture off, and then apply your rubbing compound there, your glass or, your plastic polish compound. This helps to prevent from burn because you're using high RPM, and this will burn the headlights, white spots, or worse, streaking, or all kind of weird effects that I don't even ever see, because I try not to do that. As you see, I say use the dab method. It allows it to soak in a little bit. It kind of helps you pace yourself. As you see, once you start dabbing it in, it almost starts being clear off the bat from the oils and the compound saturating the headlight. The headlight is very porous, so it soaks up a little bit of this compound at the beginning, and then when you're doing this step here, it just brings it all together through friction and heat, which come from those rotations per minute. Right now I'm using a setting at 7,800 RPM. It's varying because I'm using different trigger speeds, but you can hear how much it's winding. 7,800 RPM, that means it's rotating 7,800 times per minute. And always, once again, when you have those little divots or those things that come out, you want to slow down, you want to kind of pay more attention, you want to go at it gentler. You see how I switched the power down. Now the maxed power, if I hold the trigger all the way down on that setting, is 2,800. So you want to slow down on those spots, because you will get a kink that that the drill won't accept, or pretty much won't stop, and you will start burning through those spots and have little imperfections that you don't want to have to redo, or you can't get out. So pay fine attention to those little areas that lift off the light, those little bumps and nubs and stuff like that. Always have a clean microfiber towel around. You do not want to have an oily or dirty rag, dusty rag when you're doing headlight restoration, especially these latter steps, because you're going to be sealing it and you don't want to seal things into the light. Now, if you don't have the proper tools to do a professional headlight restoration, those kits work fine, but if you do have the tools, you can follow these methods. And if you don't have the tools, it might benefit you just to buy them and do this, because headlights are quite expensive to replace. Just on this vehicle, the OEM, which means factory spec or an actual Subaru headlight from Subaru, is about 200 bucks. And to replace it, um, and to have it installed is like $200 of labor per hour, and it's probably gonna take the technician an hour and a half to replace both of them. So you do the math. A nice drill, is probably $100. A polisher, a nice polisher might be $120. You still would be saving, all the supplies that you would need, to do the headlight restoration on both lights, might be 30 bucks. So it might be worth it just to go ahead and buy the equipment rather than the headlights. Or option A, of course, is to just hire a professional, much easier. Sit back, have a beer, don't worry about things. The next step for all professional headlight restorations, or all headlight restorations that are done correctly in general, need this, and that is a UV clear coat sealant designed for headlight restoration. Must say for headlight restoration on the merchandise. Must be designed for headlight restoration. If not, you're messing up your headlights. If not, you're messing up your customers' headlights. If not, you're just playing with the game. Now look at this. Look how beautiful this is. Look at the clarity of this. It's like a mirror underneath glass. Like, look at this. It cannot get any more clear than this. How? Is it going to turn into air, or, I mean, what? It's even more clear than water. More clear than liquid. Look at this. This is what you can do with professional grade headlight restoration. Not only the clarity, but it's going to last. And when it's time to come off, it's going to come off. A lot of people try to run the trickery of clarity through the headlights, but they got 2K clear on here or some other stuff. This is going to come off, and it's going to be ready to be redone as soon as it is ready to be redone. That wraps this up for this video. Please stay tuned for future videos. Also have some headlight restoration kit reviews coming up. Have some currently posted. Got to be dropping more every week. Please like and subscribe. Ask questions. We love questions. For more examples of work, check out this website or Google this company.